If you've been thinking about buying a house, or perhaps you have an aspiring home buyer in your sphere, whether it's your children or grandchildren, nieces or nephews, cousins, anybody in your sphere that maybe look to you as an existing homeowner for advice, and they come to you and say, is now a good time to buy a house? I want both of those two categories to watch this week's Todd Talks as I explore why you want to buy a house. A recent survey indicated that it was done by Bank of America. 70% of potential home buyers are worried about their long-term future if they don't buy. And right now, the market is very much balanced, meaning it's a different market than we've had in a long time, where it's taking houses typically up to 90 days to sell in many cases, sometimes even longer. And for sellers, they're not used to that in Texas. Since 2012, houses have sold almost right away if they're priced right. And as long as there's nothing wrong with them and they were priced correctly, they sold very quickly. And so now it's creating an opportunity for sellers to give concessions to buyers, just like builders do. And as a potential homeowner, get into a house without a lot of competition and take those incentives and put them into a good financing package. But then there's the why. Why should you do it? That's what I'm going to share. Here is the big why. First, this is home appreciation since 1988. The average sales price of homes sold in the United States quarterly. Look at what's happened. It's just gone up. You can see, now here's what's crazy. It's a nice, healthy appreciation. And we had a pullback right here during the housing, but notice that pullback seemed really intense because there was a lot of foreclosures that went on the market. Then the mortgage industry was re-regulated with what's called the ability to repay, meaning loans actually have to have some form of income verified. And then boom, we've been on this long-term appreciation. We had the COVID run up, and then it sort of flattened off there a little bit. And the last few years, we've still had some decent appreciation. But long term, from here to there, look at the line from here to there. A nice long-term appreciation of sales price. But there's more. Let me show you the other reason to consider purchasing, the other big why. This is the net worth of homeowner household versus renter households. So on average, people that own homes right now have a net worth of $396,000. The average renter, $10,400. So what ends up happening, not to all renters, I see some that max out their IRAs, they do a Roth IRA, they do an employer-based 401k, and they do really well. But we're talking like 2%, like the rest of like the 98% are in that $10,000 category. And that's where they stay until they buy a house. And buying a house not only creates underneath of you this asset that you get to live in and route money that you normally would have spent on housing expense anyways into an asset, but it shifts the mindset, as many of you homeowners know, where you start to become interested in budgeting and other investment and an employer-based 401k and how does a Roth IRA work, and hey, can I buy some stocks? And the next thing you know, it's not just the home equity, but overall the mindset and the landscape changes for the homeowner. So do me a favor, if you found value in this video, share this with family members that you know that are looking to purchase. And this message will then be to them at this point, is that I'm a certified mortgage planner. There's no need to feel apprehension or fear of wanting to buy a home. Don't worry about prices. Don't worry about property taxes. Don't worry about interest rates. What we want to do is we want to start by where are you at today? Is your credit sufficiently good to get qualified? What does your income look like? Do you have some cash to work with? We have down payment assistance programs available. Is there a family member that can help with a gift? Can we get a seller? Can we structure where we have seller paid closing so you can get in very low out of pocket? And most importantly, the affordability question. We can solve part of that with seller help with finance or for closing costs. But the other part of that's the payment equation. And that really is just a matter of what's the right payment for your current income. And then what kind of price can you get? It has nothing to do with interest rates. So if you find this helpful, please feel comfortable reaching out to me. I will build you a great mortgage plan and get you on the path towards home ownership. Thanks so much and have a wonderful day.